days out, like already.
5 days?
5 days.
Oh, girl.
I'm just like, who's that?
Breathe in, breathe out, channel the ancestors.
Literally, that's literally what I've been doing, like channeling ancestors, basically. All the strength I got behind me. Because, like, I've been going through some shady shit.
Are you? What's going on? Tell the people, spill the tea.
I mean, like, it's politics, so I feel like it's a surprise to me. Like, this is why things are the way they are. But just, you know, folks playing dirty, just, I'm waiting after the election to spill my tea. But
deep breaths, deep breaths.
It's no wonder why brown and black people in communities of color have been so disenfranchised from politics in this country. And I don't know if you saw this. I posted about this on my grid recently. But even when we overcome every barrier, hurdle, challenge to like break into the system and like actually like for myself get on the ballot to like run for office, represent ourselves, they still find ways to disenfranchise us. Like right now on my ballot, I'm the only candidate, period, in our entire district that's like in a completely opposite side of the ballot. I don't know if you saw that, but it's like you have the ballot, and I'm telling you, every single candidate running for office in New Jersey is in the first two columns on the ballot, and I'm the only one that's separated from all of them on the other side of the ballot, like on the page. It's like it's meant to like psychologically manipulate voters. You know, like they'll automatically just like go down the line and vote for the.
Of course, that's exactly how it goes. I mean, they have all the tests necessary and all of the research necessary to know how people, you know, psychologically approach these things. And of course, if you have something presented to you, obviously, if you're uneducated or if you have no, you know, former knowledge of something, you're not going to look on the back to see if there's another candidate in that category, right? Unless you're specifically going out to vote for you, you know?
Exactly. It's so messed up. So it's like, it's literally a physical representation of our marginalization. It's like, oh, like, we already made it in. We're going to push it as far out as possible. So I also like up against literally like an old white that looks like every other leader we've ever had in our country's history, who has 3 decades of power under his belt, holding onto this seat literally since I was born, and has been in office for my entire lifetime, has $3 million of lobby money to just pour into a campaign that. So our campaign, like from the jump, it was going to be grassroots. Like we're reaching all of the minority communities that have spoken to in a very long time, and it's run by and for the people. And like all of the, even the campaign itself, like all the contributions we've been getting have been averaging like such a low amount. It's literally people giving whatever they can. We've been powered by it. Like we're not taking corporate money. We're not taking super PAC money. We're not here to play the political system as has been what I've been encountering. We're here to actually make a voice for the people that deserve to have a seat at the table, that like pushed out this whole time.
Classic. But this is classic. I mean, this whole entire establishment is run by and off the back of white supremacy.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so revolutionary that you're doing this and doing the damn thing anyway, you know, and have been working as hard as you have and are gonna make a difference. You know what I mean? Like, whether that happens, Mira, even like whether the establishment can be bought or not, or, you know, beat out or not, you know, even just you having the courage to try, you know what I mean? And to have the bravery to be like, you know what, this is a space that I see very obviously has never been filled by anyone who looks like me, by absolutely no one who looks like me. And that makes no sense because there are so many who look like you. There are so many who look beyond what we think politics looks like. You know, I feel like a lot of people, they get to this point where they're like, oh, I'm not political. I don't do the political thing. I don't talk politics. whatever. You know what I mean? Politics are just an intrinsic part of being alive, unfortunately, because, you know, being a human being has nothing to do with politics, of course. It's just very, you know, the laws of nature are what they are and they've always existed.
Yeah.
But to be in this country is to be political. Your existence is politics.
Exactly.
The
Yep.
way you get paid is politics. The way you don't get paid is politics. Whether or not you can work is politics. Whether or not you're going to get stopped by a cop and potentially arrested or murdered is politics. And so anyone who says, "Oh, politics, you know, I don't see myself in politics," of course, it makes sense because we have been underrepresented. You know what I mean? And people of color, Black people especially, I can't even imagine how Muslims feel, you know what I mean, across the board from wherever they're from. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's so much disenfranchisement and there's so much rhetoric and propaganda created around making sure we feel like we're not represented. You know what I mean? And making sure that we feel like there isn't a candidate. Because you go onto the ballot and you can't even see Amani's name. You gotta flip the fucking thing to see Amani's name. There you go. That's already one whole way that they're continuing and perpetuating their white supremacist agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But beyond that, and beyond what they will do, you know what I mean? Like, you've been doing the actual grassroots groundwork. You know what I mean? So all you can hope is that your constituents who have resonated with your message, which I'm assuming, especially in this climate, must be many people. You know what I mean? Like, you did the footwork, you're gonna have hopefully more people helping out with these calls, and so we're out here. You know what I mean? They do what you can and win, bitch. Excuse me.
We're so close.
I shouldn't be cursing in a political campaign.
No, I fucking love it because it's true, literally. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, one of the ideas that I've really been reevaluating since I started running for office is, I'm sure, like many other women of color like us, you know, like for me personally, I've experienced bouts where I've felt completely ineffective within the political system and so disillusioned by it. I'm just like, why does my vote even matter? Like, it's not going to change anything. Things are so messed up that, you know, who cares at this point? Even, you know, like seeing what happened with Biden, the nomination, like it should have been Biden, you know, representing the Democratic Party, like it should. And
say it again, say it again.
You know, and it's like,
I'm sick and tired of this like lesser of two evils bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
Why do we have to pick between two evil people?
Exactly. And it's like, why do we have to keep settling for what's good enough or the way things have always been? And I think that one new...
This is why.
I know, it literally. But like one truth that I've really come to realize in running for office is like, they want us to feel like our votes don't matter. They're banking their entire political careers, their lives on it. They're hoping that we still feel ineffectual. Like, yeah, what's the point? What's the point of the Latino vote? What's the point of the Muslim vote? Because they want us to stay home because they know that if we had a higher turnout, we can literally dictate the way these votes happen, like the way the elections results come out, who's represented in office. Like, we can literally mobilize an entire revolution across the board to these positions. And so that's why it's like I've become very much more cognizant of the language when I'm talking to other minorities and stuff like that, because I'm just like, look, yeah, the system is fucked, but that's why we need to take the back. That's why we need our place in it, no matter how pointless, hopeless it feels.
Disheartened we all are. I think that's kind of the main thing, is like, I was feeling so hopeless, obviously. Like, I was kind of in this place of like, what even is the point of elections when we, first of all, even the whole entire system was built on Native American territory. Like, let's just start there. Like, this whole entire thing is a farce. You know what I mean? Like, debating who gets to use our hard-earned money, because that's what taxes are. They are hard-earned money, And whatever percentage they take, your state, your county takes from you, you know, these people are the people who designate where that money goes, because we're a corporation. That's what the United States is. We're a
Our money,
corporation. It's our money that they're
our
using
money,
to
we're
do
paying for it.
exactly, to give us these services, to give us what it is that we need to feel safe, to feel stable, to feel like, you know, we're taken care of. And what I think the main thing is I went from that hopelessness, because regardless of the abolitionist prone future that we see ahead of us, where, you know, these systems cease to exist and we live in harmony with one another, you know what I mean, that idealistic thing that nobody thinks is possible in the far distance. In the meantime, this is a very present system, you know, and the one of the many ways, because I absolutely don't think voting is the only way that these problems are going to be solved, and I don't think Amani does either. You know what I mean? It really, at the end of the day, for me, is about local elections right now. It's about people who are in your space, the people who are around you, working in your city, working as your sheriff, working as your commissioners, working as your representatives.
Yep.
Those are the people who have power right now. And it is our responsibility to look into those people in our respective neighborhoods, in our respective counties, in our respective districts, in our respective cities. That is where we can start making change on a systematic level, because the longer that we kind of feel like that's not our game, the white people are going to keep knowing that that's their game. You know what I mean? Like they know that that's their game. They know that that's where they come in and are like, oh yeah, you guys want to protest, you guys want to have all these opinions, okay, cool, well, we're going to vote in these people into office who don't agree with you, who absolutely don't agree with you, who agree with me and my rich self and my property tax exempt self, you know, or my income tax exempt self, you know. And so long as we allow politics to be a game of the rich, it will be a game of the rich. You know, so long as we don't see how that is one of the many things that we need to be giving our energy to, as we shift this paradigm, as we shift this world, as we shift this nation on its head, you're gonna keep seeing the elites doing what they do with our money. That's just gonna keep happening because they have weapons and they have jails.
Yeah.
And foot soldiers, plenty of foot soldiers that are more than willing to take away dissent, as we've very clearly seen, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean,
The
that's
local elections, vote
yeah.
for money.
That's
If you're in Jersey, just do it. Just do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's literally what I was gonna say is like local elections are key, you know, because like we come out more and hear more about presidential elections, but locally, that's where that change is capable of happening, right? Because it's like you make that turnout possible, you bring your community out, and then that's how we start replacing those representatives that then dictate those policies that then go upwards. That's literally like how we make grassroots movements happen. And
Yeah, your district attorneys, so important.
yeah,
So
exactly.
important. If you guys are upset, if you are watching this and you're upset about the way that your neighbors are being dealt with by the police, you need to look into who your DA is. You need to look into who your sheriff is. You have the power in these elections to vote for these people, to vote these people out of office, and to tell them that you don't fuck with their fuck shit. Okay? You have the power. You are a citizen. You have the power to do this. And yeah, I mean, granted, DAs, all of this needs to be abolished at one point or another, but absolutely needs to be done with, because very obviously these systems are not here to help people heal. These systems are not here to hold people accountable. These systems are here mostly to incarcerate the poor. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, and that, by the way, is what causes destabilization. That's what causes crime. That's what causes all of these things that we live in fear of on a daily basis that we think we need police to handle. All of these are symptoms of disenfranchisement. All of these are symptoms of not having our basic needs met. And the people who have the power to meet those basic needs are corrupt. Period. That's where we're at in this time of our lives. That's where we're at this point in America. If you are educated, you know that this is to be true, and there's plenty unsurmountable amounts of evidence online and everywhere else you can find it that will attest to the fact that this is the way these systems are. And so your voice, our voices collectively, are necessary. Even if you think you're insignificant because you only have 10 followers who are your closest friends, you still have a voice when it comes to a ballot. You still have a voice when it comes to filling out your census. You still have a voice when it comes to educating yourself about what leaders you're going to mark yes on. You're going to fill in that bubble for. You can't, like, because I'm guilty of this too. When I was younger and uneducated, like, very guilty of showing up at a ballot and just being like, shit, I only know the presidential candidate. When I was 18, I had no idea who my local officials were. I had no idea who to elect. I didn't know any of those people. I literally went, okay, well, definitely Democrat. And definitely not Republican, but definitely Democrat. And I'm just gonna this name looks nice. This looks like a woman. I'm just gonna vote for all the women. You know what I mean? Like, we cannot be coming at this election with that kind of frivolry. You know what I mean? And it was my issue. You know what I mean? I needed to have educated myself. And I didn't know any better because I wasn't educated in my schooling system about voting and about the importance of it. And so this is all systematic is my point. And you guys need to educate yourselves and get acquainted with the Amanis of your district. You know what I mean? And the Amanis of your area, so that you guys can be electing people that resonate with you, that resonate with your beliefs and your views on where this world can go, on where this nation can go away from where we are right now, which is just an embarrassment.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree with you. And like literally, like this thing that you're saying, honestly, I like outlined all the reasons why I even like got into politics in the first place. And I feel like we should have probably said this at the beginning, and we'll get to it once I finish the thought. But we are going to be making an announcement during this live, so stay tuned. You're tapped in, lock it in for that announcement. But yeah, I mean, like, the disenfranchisement goes deep. Like, literally, people have been strategizing how to make our voices broken for a very long time. You know, for those that might be familiar with the concept of gerrymandering, it's literally redrawing districts in order to cut through.
Gerrymandering. Look at gerrymandering, guys. I did a little piece on it for MTV like a while ago in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, like they shout out to MTV because they were making stuff, content around it, like MTV, like vote stuff.
Yeah.
But basically, gerrymandering is crazy. These people just redraw their district lines so that they can have more, like, white people in voting for them, and only them allowed to vote. It's really wild. Like some of these shapes out here, like there's one that's like Goofy kicking Donald Duck or some bullshit. Like, I'm like, and it's like a joke. It's a joke to these people. It's like, oh, look, this is the new drawing of the lines. And I'm just like, that is corruption. Also, voter suppression is real as fuck. So if you can, get your mail-in ballot. Get a mail-in ballot. Make sure that you're voting from home so that shit counts. Because granted, either way, they're gonna do what they want. But that is very real. Keep your eye on that. Voter suppression is real as fuck right now.
Yeah. Like they go through so many lengths to try to
many. That just proves our power, though.
Exactly. Like, if they're going through that effort to divide us up. So, like, for those that don't know what gerrymandering is, it's literally when they redraw the lines of your district to cut through minority community, or you know, we shouldn't even call them minority communities at this point because we're not a minority anymore. You know, it's like communities of color. It's like if there's a huge number, a huge population of people of color in a district, they will gerrymander, literally draw the line to cut through it and divide that number up so that it wouldn't a big enough faction to threaten their power, basically. So that shows why we need to make sure that we are coming out to vote. Like we need to be active in this process because these policies, what we're seeing right now, a Muslim ban, children in cages, okay, this failure of a pandemic crisis that has disproportionately impacted our community, anyone. All of this is a result of that disempowerment that we have to that we're being forced to experience within the political realm, that like we don't matter, we don't count, when we're the ones most impacted by policies. And so yeah, I don't know, girl, we're in a state of crisis right now.
We really are in a state of crisis. And you know, I feel like we would both be remiss to promise that voting is the only thing that's going to solve it, because it really isn't. It really isn't. Like, unfortunately, with American politics right now, I feel like with voting you can expect fraud. You can just expect that the whole process is going to be rewired and you know what I mean? Like, they're going to give you all of the back doors, all of the different
The bullshit.
what's, when's, why's. You can't do something, you know what I mean? And so it's so important. Just get familiar, man. Get familiar with your area. Get familiar with your town. Get familiar with the people around you. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to this, I mean, of course, we're talking about voting right now. So that's like, it just get educated, man. Get educated. Talk to your neighbors. See what they're thinking. See where they're at. See what they want to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to volunteering, like, you don't have to just, you know, go out into other neighborhoods that have nothing to do with your people, you know, like, go out to your own neighborhoods, especially if you live in higher income neighborhoods. Ask them what their politics are. Like, have these conversations. I know growing up, I was taught, you don't talk politics, you don't talk religion, and you don't talk about how much money you make, right? That was what I was told.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit. That's how they keep us in these boxes and how they keep us in this disenfranchisement. So have those conversations, have those difficult conversations. Go out of your way to make people who think they're really comfortable in their politics uncomfortable. I think it's really important right now.
Oh yeah.
It's important for us to be challenging how we are going to reimagine these structures, because we're all in agreement that this is a mess. I think everyone can, besides Trump's fanatics that are just, in my mind, they're like you know what I mean? Like, fans stand Twitter, that they just like, they'll ride or die for their idol or whatever to the death, even if they're the most trash human being on the planet, you know? Right. Like, it's like that. That's literally what Donald Trump supporters are. They're just vermin that are just like, oh, I'm obsessed with this guy. I love him. He can do no wrong. I see myself in him. He's just an underdog. He's just, you know, he's a funny guy. That's my favorite one. He's just a funny guy. He's just funny. He's not politically correct. He's just funny. Yeah, that man's a rapist. That man's a rapist and a con artist, and a thief, and a lot of other things that are just like immoral. So I think at the end of the day, those people are going to be brainwashed until they aren't, you know what I mean? Until we come into this new world and they awaken from their spells and they're like, wow, oh, it's kind of nice. I don't have to only live in suffering all the time. It is possible to have a world without suffering. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible to have a world in where our quote unquote leaders meet our needs with our own money. That's totally possible. We can definitely live in a world where people who are supposed to be protecting us and keeping us safe are actually held accountable to those standards, and the same standards as their civilians. We can actually create a world where people like Amani are running shit and not people like her. I don't even know the dude running against you. What's his name?
Hello.
We're not even mentioning his name. We're old white men are continuing to be in control of positions that they don't deserve and positions that they continue to exploit for the sake of profit, which is obvious. You know what I mean? Like we need to be more daring to imagine that world and to demand that world.
100%. And
right.
Not only is that world possible, but these wins within the elections that have been trying so hard to keep us out, they too are possible when we rise up, when we come together, when we unite, and when we insist on our voices being heard. You know, like one thing that I always say, people always have said about me, have said about, you know, like my website, Girl, is that we're a voice for the voiceless. And I've always insisted, like, there's no such thing as a person that's voiceless. Everyone has a voice. It's just that there are those that are systematically silenced. And it's our moral responsibility to empower them to be able to speak for themselves.
Amen.
That is
to listen to them and to listen to them.
Exactly. And it's possible, you know, like we all saw what happened with AOC. And if you guys have been following, like, there's election, we had a huge upset in New York just a week ago with Jamal Bowman just unseated a person that was in office almost as long as the guy that I'm going against has been in office, and he's a black man, you know. And it's like we also just got Kentucky almost we elected our first black senator in the state's history, and he missed it by like the smallest margin. But even beyond that, it showed that there's huge power when our communities step up and punch back. That it's not like, let's make them work for it. You know, like, it's not just a ordeal guarantee. You know, you're part of the status quo, so by default, you're gonna position, you're gonna win. Like, no, like, let's make them fight for it. We're gonna fight for that power. You know, like, it doesn't happen that easily. And so I really love and adore Lauren. I say this to her all the time. Like, she's one of the realest people that I've ever met in my life, and a person that like stays true to her word, dead ass. Like, mashallah, throw some Muslim blessings on you, like, keep the evil eye away. Like,
received and sent right back, baby.
But yeah, like, that's why, like, you know, Laura, you know, I seriously appreciate your support from day one so much. Not even just like publicly like this, but even just on a personal level, like your words of encouragement for me. How hard it is going up in this fight in the first place. That honestly, it's sisterhood that has been my saving grace. And I really couldn't do it without the women that I have in the corner. So I'm really excited to announce with you guys that you guys had Lauren join us for our very first volunteer Zoom party, and you all loved it. We were flooded with people that were trying to be part of the conversation and be able to talk to Lauren one-on-one and share their experience with her, ask her questions, and all of that stuff. And it was simply so many people and not time that we needed to put her back, especially because of the high demand of the Amani 2020 volunteers. So those of you that are in the chat, I see you, okay? So huge thanks to you guys for making sure that happened. But basically, we're bringing Lauren back to the Amani 2020 campaign. And this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern in New York time, we're going to be hosting one more private Zoom party with our girl Lauren. And this time, it's not going to be open to like signs up. This time, in order to keep it intimate, focused, especially with the election being next Tuesday, 5 days from now, we are making this Zoom party open to as a thank you and a celebration. Everyone that stepped up to help us organize on a grassroots level part in our phone banking, which we do to connect the residents on
the phone, baby.
Like, literally, like, in New Jersey, we call up districts that live in our state and directly talk to them about our campaign and why we need their vote. So we are basically rewarding every single volunteer that phone banks for 3 hours including our current volunteers and new ones, you can still sign up to take part. If you phone bank for our campaign for 3 hours, you get the link to the private.
You get a golden ticket.
You get the golden ticket to chill with me and our beautiful girl, Lauren. And of course, this is going to also limit the capacity of the meeting. So it'll be much more intimate. It'll be much more close. More people will have the opportunity to talk to her directly and have a conversation with us. And to sign up to Phone Bank, it's super easy. It's the link that's pinned down below in the chat. And you click there and it shows you every shift that's available to phone bank with us. And as soon as you sign up, you automatically get the link to start phone banking. Basically, you just look at the link that you receive after you sign up. And I have to make it clear that it's for phone banking, not text banking. We also do text banking, and you're very welcome to sign up for that as well. But we definitely want to make sure that we are talking one-on-one with people on the phone, engaging them, letting them know what's up, sharing all of these ideas that we've been talking about right here, and really just cheering them up, like getting them hyped to send in their mail-in ballots and their voices heard.
Amen.
So click the link down below, save it. I am definitely going, I'm going to stay on live for a little bit because I know Lauren can't stay long, but I'm going to stay to answer any questions that you guys might have about signing up for phone banking, how to do it, anything like that. Again, it's super easy. All you have to do is sign up at the link, and you automatically receive the link to, right there to be able to dive right into the phone bank and start calling people up. So I'm really excited about that. And
kill it, guys. I love you. Go help Monty, and then I'll see you in a Zoom.
Love you, Lauren. See you on Saturday.
I love you. Bye, babe.
Bye.
See you Saturday.